Hello guys, in a very special way I want to welcome you all to this channel. So in this video I want us to look at motion sickness. I don't know how many of you have heard of that or how many of you have experienced that. I remember when I was much younger, I dreaded traveling in a car, especially when I'm embarking on a very long journey, because after a while I will start feeling dizzy, I'll start feeling like throwing up and all. And so that's what motion sickness is all about. So I want us to look at what causes motion sickness and how we can alleviate it in this video. So motion sickness occurs when there is a conflict between the signals that the brain receives from the eyes, from the inner ears, and other sensory receptors responsible for detecting movement and balance. At this point, I need us to understand that the ear does two works. Besides hearing, the ear is also responsible for balancing. The ear is responsible for telling you what position you are assuming at this moment, whether your head is tilted to the left or whether you are bent or whether you are standing erect and all. The inner ear or a part of the inner ear is responsible for that. So when there's a conflict between the signals received from this part of the ear, from your eyes, and from every other part of the body that is responsible for your balancing and for your positioning, motion sickness begins to set in. So this conflict can occur when you are in a moving vehicle, such as a plane or a car, and your eyes tell your brain that you are sitting still while your inner ear detects movement. I'm sure we understand that. So your eyes are telling the brain that you're actually sitting still, but the inner ear is sending a different message to the brain that you are in a motion. So the brain interprets this mismatch as a sign of possible poisoning and triggers a response of nausea, vomiting, sweating, and dizziness. And these are some of the symptoms that are associated with motion sickness. Now, it's important to note here that some people are actually more prone to motion sickness than others due to a variety of factors, including genetics, age, and even previous experiences with motion sickness. Women actually are more likely to experience motion sickness than men. So to alleviate motion sickness, there are several things you can try. One of the things you can do is to look out of the window when you are driving in a car or when you are traveling in a car. So if you are in a car or a plane, looking out the window and focusing on a fixed point in the distance can help reduce the sensory mismatch between your eyes and the inner ears. Another thing you can do is to stop reading or looking at screens. Okay, try and avoid reading or looking at screens, because reading or looking at screens can increase this mismatch, because when you're reading, you're sending that message to the brain that you are sitting still or that you are in a stationary position. Meanwhile, the inner ear is conflicting by telling the brain that you are in a motion, so the mismatch will be increased. But when you avoid reading or looking at screens, this mismatch can be reduced. Another thing you can do is to take a break. If you're in a long car or plane journey, take regular breaks. Get some fresh air, move around. All these have a way of reducing the symptoms of motion sickness. Also try to avoid very strong odors or fumes when you are traveling in a vehicle, because this also has a way of triggering the effects that come with motion sickness. Another thing you can try is to use some medications. There are actually some over-the-counter medications such as antihistamines that can help alleviate motion sickness symptoms. There are also some prescription medications available that can be more effective for some people, than antihistamines. You can also try alternative therapies. I'm sure these have worked for some people, such as acupuncture or acupressure. These have helped some people to alleviate motion sickness symptoms in the past. So if you give it a try, it might work for you. And then finally, it's important to note that what works for one person may not work for another. So it may take some trial and error to find the most effective way to alleviate motion sickness symptoms in you. So guys, I don't know how many of you have experienced this motion sickness. I'd like you to go to the comment section and share your experience. Tell us what has happened to you, how did you come over it, and if there are other questions you'd like to ask about motion sickness, kindly drop them in the comment section and I will attend to them. Until we meet again in our next video, kindly subscribe to this channel, click on the like button, click on the notification bell so that next time I post a video here, you will see it first. See you later.